Hello, second graders. This is Mrs. Gilmore. We're going to be working on Unit 4, Lesson 10 today. And our goal for this lesson is to use the subtraction strategies that we've learned so far. And we're going to model this subtraction with money. We're going to use money to show how we can subtract. Okay, so we are going to start with a couple materials. You're going to need your SAB, you're going to need a pencil, and you're going to need a bag of money from the bin next to the window. Make sure you grab a bag of money, and there should be a dollar bill and some pennies and some dimes in there. And then for this lesson, you're going to need a partner. You're going to have a couple jobs to do, and each partner is going to have a job. If you work in a group of 3, that's okay, but you're going to have to take some turns with the jobs. If you usually are someone who works by yourself, you're going to need a partner for today. But that means that the people that you choose to be your partners are really going to have to be good decisions and good learning partners so that you make sure to get the lesson done and you're not distracted by your partners. So make sure you choose wisely. And then go ahead and find a good place to work and get your SAB open and get your money out. Okay, for this first part of the lesson, the first thing you want to do is pull the money out of your bag and count up the money that you have in your bag. In your bag, you should have a dollar bill, you should have some dimes, and you should have some pennies. If you count up all of the coins, you'll find that you have 20 pennies altogether, and you have 20 dimes altogether. So you want to make sure that when you count your money, that you're counting 20 pennies, and pennies are counting by ones, and you want to make sure that you count 20 dimes, and 20 dimes are counting by tens. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to count up your money all together and see how much money you have to start with. So we're going to start with our dollar bill, and we're going to count $1 bill is worth 100 cents. So I'm going to write 100 cents down below my dollar bill. So I have 100 cents. Then I'm going to count by tens for my dimes. So I have 20 dimes altogether. So here we go. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So I just counted 10 dimes, and I know 10 dimes is the same as 100. 10 tens is the same as 100. So that's another 100. Then I have another 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. So I have 200 cents all together with my dimes. So I have 100 cents for my dollar plus 200 cents for my dimes. Now I'm going to count up my pennies. Now I'm going to count by ones, but I know I have 20 pennies. So at the end, if I'm counting by ones, I should have 20 cents. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And I do. So I have 20 cents for my pennies. So if I add 100 cents for my dollar, plus 200 cents for my dimes, plus 20 cents for my pennies, I'll have 320 cents altogether. So I know that I'm starting with 320 cents. So here's what you're going to do next. One of your partners is going to be the customer, and you're going to go to the yard sale. If you notice on page 183 in your SAB, you're going to see a picture of a bunch of items at a yard sale. And the items at the yard sale, you have cork board. A cork board is just like a little board that's made of a cork material that you can use push pins to stick notes into. So it's like your own little message board. So you have a cork board, there's a toy rabbit, there's a toy guitar, some perfume, and then a knitted cap or a knitted hat. Okay, so as the customer, you're going to decide what you want to buy from the yard sale. Then the other student is going to be the banker. And the first thing the banker is going to do is give the customer the exact amount of money that's shown in the first box. So if you look in the first box, number 1, you see that there it says I have 162 cents in my pocket. So the banker is going to give the customer 162 cents for their pocket, and you're going to give them $1 for your 100, and then you're going to give them 6 dimes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 60 cents, and 2 pennies for 2 cents. So they should have $1, 6 dimes, and 2 pennies. So they'll have 162 cents altogether. Okay? So then the next thing that's going to happen is the customer is going to decide what they want to buy, and you're going to write down the name of the item that you're buying on the line in the first box. I bought the blank. Then the other thing you're going to do is you're going to put the amount of money that that item costs next to the minus sign underneath the 162 cents that you have. So you're going to put how much the item costs under there next to your minus sign. Then the next thing you're going to do is the customer is going to have to ask the banker for some exact change to buy their item. So if you only have 6 dimes and 2 pennies, you may need more pennies or more dimes to buy your item. If you, for instance, if you decide that you want to buy the toy rabbit, which is 84 cents, you only have 6 dimes. So you're going to have to get more dimes somehow from the banker. And the best way to do that is to turn in your dollar bill for 10 more dimes, which is 10 is 100, so that equals the same amount as your dollar bill. Or if you need more pennies, then you can turn in one of your dimes and get 10 more pennies from the banker to get 10 cents from your dime. Let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So however much change you'll need to buy that item, you're going to have to turn in your dollar and get 10 dimes back, or turn in a dime and get 10 pennies back. Then once you have the money that you need to buy that item, you're going to turn that money into the banker, and then the customer is going to count the money that you have left. So the money that you didn't spend. You're going to count up that money, and you're going to write that amount on the line at the bottom of the box. I have blank cents left. So once you've done all that, you're going to subtract both partners together to make sure that the right amount of money was given and the right amount of money is still left over. So for the first one, for instance, if I bought the toy rabbit for 84 cents, I would have to take my 162 cents minus my rabbit amount of 84 cents, and I would do that subtraction problem to find if I have the right amount of money left that I thought I had left. So that's just checking your counting and making sure that you counted up the right amount of money you have left. So you're going to take turns being the customer and the banker. And so for number 2, you would start by having the other person give, well, first you would put all the money back in the bag, and you would have the other student be the banker now, and so the person who was the customer the first time, and the banker is going to give the new customer 143 cents to start with. And then the new customer is going to figure out what item they want to buy, and then they're going to put the amount that the item costs. They're going to ask for any change that they need from the banker to buy that item, so turning in $1 for 10 dimes, or turning in a dime for 10 pennies. Then the customer is going to buy that item and turn the money into the banker. Then the customer is going to count up the rest of their money and write that amount on the line below at the bottom of the box. And then you're going to do your subtraction problem to make sure that you counted the right amount of money left. So you're going to do that for number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then you're going to go on to page 184 in your SAB. Okay, on page 184, you are going to be practicing separating your money amounts into place values, into dollars, dimes, and pennies. And then there's going to be a really important review on this page because as Mrs. Gilmore was looking through your last quick quizzes that was practicing money, I noticed that a lot of you are still not writing your dollars and cents correctly when you put your dollar sign up. So, for instance, they did number 5 for you. So number 5, you're going to write the total or the money amount in dollars, dimes, and pennies. So for 134, 100 tells me I have $1 bill. 30 cents in the 3 in the tens place tells me I have 3 dimes for 30 cents. And the 4 in the ones place tells me I have 4 pennies for 4 cents. Then this is the part that many of you were getting confused on the quick quiz. Your first place value here is your dollar place value. So your 1 is going to go in there for your dollar bill. Then your decimal point comes next. The place value after that is for your dimes. That's your tens place value. So your 3 dimes for 30 cents is going to go there. The last place value is your ones place. So any pennies you have, which is 4 for this one, are going to go in your ones place. Now many of you were writing a cents sign behind that, but remember you don't need a cents sign there if you already have a dollar sign at the beginning of your money notation. So if you have a dollar sign up here, do not put a cent sign at the end. It does not belong there if you already have a dollar sign. So don't make the mistake of putting a cent sign at the back of that dollars and cents notation. So you're going to do that for number 5, 6, 7, and 8. And then at the bottom of the page, you're going to be practicing subtracting money amounts. And the one thing I want you to pay close attention to is this decimal point. There's one here, there's one below it, and then there's going to have to be another decimal point in your answer. So you're just going to line up your decimal points, one on top, one on the next line, and then one in your answer down below. You're going to use the same subtraction strategies you were using when we were doing subtraction with our 3-digit and 2-digit numbers. But not only are you using your strategy, but you need to remember to use your dollar and decimal point for your answers, because for this practice you're using money. So you'll do that for all of the bottom and then come check your answers with Mrs. Gilmore.